What if I told you that there was an event in the comics that was bigger than the Infinity Gauntlet saga in the comics and bigger than the Infinity Saga in the MCU? Well, there is Avengers Secret Wars Battleworld. How's it going, everybody? It's Warren, and Avengers Secret Wars Battleworld is coming. And today's video is about how the MCU is being set up for the next Avengers Endgame type level event that is going to be even bigger than Avengers Endgame. And Kevin Feige has even recently teased this in an interview, and the Russo brothers actually teased this before as well. So for those of you who have been waiting for Avengers Secret Wars, it is coming. So in this video, I'll talk about how Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, has hinted that Avengers Secret Wars is going to be the next huge crossover event in the MCU, how the Russo brothers will come back to direct the film, and how the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and the villains, Doctor Doom and Galactus, will be in this as well. Real quick, don't forget to subscribe with notifications turned on, like this video and comment below so you can enter my giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox One or a PS4. The Comic-Con experience, or CCXP, in Sao Paulo, Brazil was only a couple of weekends ago, and although we were expecting some big reveals and there were rumored to be some big reveals, we walked away with only getting some new footage for Black Widow and the Eternals. The Eternals footage was said to be absolutely fantastic, however, the whole fandom wanted something about Phase 5. However, we weren't entirely disappointed because immediately after Marvel's panel at CCXP, Kevin Feige talked about the future of the MCU in an interview. And during this interview, he said that the MCU's next big crossover event is already underway. And he even mentioned that the multiverse, which of course is a huge part of Avengers Secret Wars Battleworld, is the next evolution of the MCU. In this interview, he said that Marvel Studios is going to focus on making the best individual movies that they can make. Yes, of course, everything in the MCU is interconnected, but they're going to focus on making each individual movie the best they can. But then he said, yes, it's always fun to see them come together in a master plan, which is, I promise you, well underway. So he just confirmed that this big crossover event where all of these other individual characters come together is already well underway, but he did not stop there. Kevin Feige went on to confirm that the multiverse is the future, and it's actually been in Marvel's plans to introduce the multiverse for a very long time. In the interview, he went on to say, "When we first started the MCU, it was all about Tony Stark. Introduce people to Tony Stark and that Iron Man armor. Then we went on to teach people what Asgardians were and learn about super soldiers, then bring them together in Avengers. I've always loved space movies, and I've always loved big intergalactic tales, which is why we did Guardians, and the audience came with us so we could do a movie like Endgame. I always wanted to do time travel, which we finally got to do in Endgame. The multiverse is the next step in the evolution of the MCU, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is going to crack it open in ways that will have repercussions." So Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, immediately after Marvel's panel at CCXP was asked about the future of the MCU, and he said that the future and the evolution of the MCU is the multiverse. And Avengers Secret Wars Battleworld is all about the multiverse. To be more specific, it's about the multiverse shattering. During the Secret Wars event, the multiverse shatters and the remains of the multiverse all come together to create one world, Battleworld. On this Battleworld, Doctor Doom reigns as God Emperor Doom, and there are different territories or domains on the Earth that belong to different universes. Each different domain or universe is controlled by a Baron, which is a person from that universe, and in order to cross into another universe or domain, you have to have permission from either God Emperor Doom or the Baron of that universe. Now, there are a few different Battleworld events, and there are two Secret Wars Battleworld events. The first one that happens in Secret Wars is the Beyonder observes the main Marvel universe, and he takes different villains and heroes and transports them to a different planet, Battleworld, and makes them fight. Then the multiverse colliding and the remains making up Battleworld is in Secret Wars number 2. This is where God Emperor Doom takes the power of the Beyonder for himself. Now, we're probably going to get a combination somewhat of the two of these, but one thing is for sure is that the multiverse is eventually going to shatter. Kevin Feige has already hinted at that. And when it does, we are going to have just a ton of different characters combining on one planet for the biggest event of all time. On Battleworld in the MCU, we're going to have the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, the new Avengers, and not to mention the villains. And again, this has seemingly been the plan for a pretty long time now. It seems like Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios had this planned for when they would eventually get back the rights to the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. And this is proven years and years ago in a deleted Iron Man post-credit scene that Kevin Feige has released where Nick Fury says the word mutants.
And I'm about to show you a deleted scene that has never been seen by anyone before right now. Thank you again so much and enjoy.
As if gamma accidents, radioactive bug bites, and assorted mutants weren't enough, I have to deal with a spoiled brat who doesn't play well with others and wants to keep all his toys to himself.
Who the hell are you?
Nick Fury, director of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm here to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative.
Well, what are we avenging?
Whatever the hell we want.
So they recorded this scene in 2008 and now we're almost in 2020. So Marvel has been planning on the mutants or the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom and Galactus to be in the MCU for some time now. And now that it's possible, it's time. Like Kevin Feige said in the interview, the evolution of the MCU has begun. And it seems like the Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, and Galactus aren't too far away from entering the MCU. It's been rumored for some time now that the Fantastic Four could be coming sooner than later, perhaps within the next few years. And recently there's been a leak from Charles Murphy stating that Doctor Doom could be the main villain of Black Panther 2. So the story arc for Secret Wars Battleworld could start being set up within the next couple of years. Now, executive producer Trin Tran has stated that Marvel hopes to do the next Avengers Endgame type of event within the next 10 years. Probably not any sooner before, but definitely within another 10 years, which means that we can expect Avengers 5 before then. It's not going to be a huge crossover movie like Avengers Endgame, but it's going to be more like the first Avengers or Avengers Age of Ultron. And this will establish the new Avengers. That way, when they go into Avengers Secret Wars Battleworld, all of the groups or teams will be established at that point. And it's going to be a lot bigger than Avengers Endgame. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has already expanded bigger than it has ever been before with the introduction of the Disney Plus series that are going to exist in the MCU. So just think about all of the different characters and all of the different teams that they're going to have available for Avengers Secret Wars. Not only are we going to have a new Avengers team, but we're also going to have characters like the Eternals and then Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, not to mention the Young Avengers that have been rumored for some time now, and of course Deadpool. There are already so many characters that exist already in the MCU or will come to exist in the MCU with their Disney Plus series introductions or movie introductions, but then you add the Fantastic Four and then you add the X-Men. This is why Avengers Secret Wars Battleworld is going to be the biggest crossover event in history. It will have the Avengers, the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four coming together to fight Doctor Doom and Galactus. It's pretty much all but confirmed that Doctor Doom and Galactus are going to be the two next big bad villains of the MCU. Galactus is going to be the cosmic threat for our cosmic heroes, and Doctor Doom is going to be the earthly threat for everybody on Earth. And these are two of the strongest villains in Marvel history, which is why everybody is going to have to come together to fight them. But having such a massive movie is going to take the right people to direct the film. Luckily, Marvel has the Russo brothers. And luckily, the Russo brothers have already name-dropped Secret Wars before. They've actually name-dropped it a few times in a few different interviews. In an interview with the Daily Beast, they were asked about Secret Wars, in which they said, "It was one of the most influential books. This notion of heroes coming together, all those complex personalities and villains coming together, we're guys who, as storytellers, love to portray villain characters as emotionally complicated and partly empathetic at times. Because we don't believe that anyone is truly all good or truly all bad. We're all a mix of both, though heroes tend to lean more towards good and villains tend to lean more towards bad." Secret Wars just seems like a prime opportunity to explore the personalities of the characters and the way that they interact with each other, and for alliances to be formed in odd ways that the audience isn't expecting. It's just got a really high concept that could be executed on a larger scale. So here you have the two directors of Avengers Endgame, which was the biggest crossover event of all time and the highest grossing film of all time, talking about Secret Wars and how it could be bigger, how it could be executed on a larger scale. Now, the Russo brothers have said that they're going to be taking a break from directing with Marvel Studios, but luckily for us, there is something that they said could bring them back. In an interview with Collider's Frosty said that the X-Men and the Fantastic Four are coming to the MCU. Is there anything that could bring them back to direct? And they said Secret Wars. So the movie that the Russo brothers would come back to direct is Avengers Secret Wars, and they've actually name-dropped Secret Wars in a few different interviews aside from these. So Kevin Feige has recently name-dropped the Multiverse and talked about a big crossover event already in the works. Kevin Feige has already said that they will be working with the Russo brothers again in future Marvel films, and the Russo brothers have name-dropped Avengers Secret Wars several different times, talking about how they would love to do the story arc, and they've even said that they would come back to direct the film if Marvel made it. Well, based off of what everybody has already said, it seems like everything has kind of already lined up and Avengers Secret Wars is probably already in the works already. In fact, according to Kevin Feige, this next huge big crossover event is already in the works. And Avengers Secret Wars Battleworld is really the only way that they could top Avengers Endgame. So the president of Marvel Studios is hinting at Secret Wars, and the directors of Avengers Endgame are hinting at Secret Wars as well, so it seems like the next big crossover event is indeed going to be Avengers Secret Wars Battleworld. This would be the ultimate movie, even bigger than Avengers Endgame. So let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Would you be excited to see Avengers Secret Wars, and do you think the Russo brothers are the ones that should direct it? Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like the video as well, and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss anything relating to the MCU, and so you can enter my giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox One or a PS4. The winner gets to choose. I'm picking a new winner at 550,000 subscribers. Don't forget to click the link in the description down below if you'd like a chance to win an Infinity Gauntlet, and don't forget to use code COSMIC at gfuel.com for 30% off your G Fuel. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.